Gibbs, driver of the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing tonight. We have Brian Morehouse, Scott Allen, and myself, Roger Brehm, rolling right along. You guys don't like each other or something?
Is that far apart? I'm sitting in the big man's chair.
Maybe that's why I'm so close.
Man, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, he wants to get close to you earlier, so
Oh, I know.
what can I say?
We're not even going to go there. Now I see why him and Jack have a problem.
Anywho, we've got the K&N racing coming up this weekend at Langley Speedway. And we're going to have several of the K&N drivers calling in tonight, as well as the PR from Langley Speedway. He'll be calling in as well.
Well, we'll go over a little bit about the K&N race that was at Pensacola, Florida this weekend. 150 lapper. It was a good race. Very, lead changes were awesome. Ben Rhodes and crew chief Mark McFarland took that one. And I think
he's
it
on
was,
a roll.
Oh yeah, I'm telling
Like
you.
3 in a row?
Yeah, I want to say so. I have to check on here, but I mean, they've been right up in there every weekend. I mean, Richmond and
he's got a pretty good points lead too.
Oh, very good. And you know, Mark McFarland was a Virginia boy.
Mm-hmm.
Did a lot of late model Pro Cup racing. He's won many
nationwide
things.
For
nationwide for
JR
Motorsports. Then I think he was replaced by Shane Huffman, and he's also a crew chief. So, or did he replace Shane? I forget how all that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of Virginia boys up in there, and a lot of talent within the K&N series. So yeah, we had that this weekend. Very good. Not a whole lot to report. The weather was great. It rained on us for about 2 hours, but we ended up getting that race in. So we were good to go this weekend. Now, who is this one?
McKenna
Bell.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Racing. You're with Scott Allen and Brian Morehouse. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. You looking forward to coming to Virginia and all the humidity?
Oh yeah. I think we were well prepared in Pensacola with the humidity. So
We got a little bit of rain down there too, didn't you?
yeah, it started off with rain and then, like I said, it was so humid the rest of the day. So I think we're very well prepared for humidity.
Well, I think you got in shape there because it's going to be a hot and humid one here this weekend, just like it was last year. Last year was kind of ungodly. But yeah, from talking around town and everything, everybody's looking forward to the K&N bunch coming in town and putting on a good show like y'all did at Pensacola.
Yeah, I always really enjoy going to Langley. There's a lot of history with our team, and you know, the Dale Lemons, the Victory Lane, and Riley Lemons do races for Revs, so it makes it kind of special, and I always really look forward to going to Langley. And gotta love Bill Mullis. He's one of the best track promoters I've ever dealt with in my life, and you know.
Yeah, real good guy. Y'all got a little bit of history. You got Jefferson Hodges, which is y'all's competition director there at Rev Racing. He's got a lot of roots around here. At one time, his dad ran Langley Speedway for the Lemons family. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I know when we pull in there, it's something really special too. You know, our competition director, and to have his dad's name on one of the roads when you do pull in, and like I said, you know, Riley Lemons races a Bandolero for Eagle and Rev Racing, and so her grandpa's the Victory Lane, and it would be awesome to definitely get the 21 Special Smiles pediatric dentistry car in there.
Yeah, definitely. Tell us a little bit about your weekend last weekend down there at Pensacola.
You know, I definitely think it was one of our better weekends. We had a really strong car. This season has been, you know, a little bit different. Last year I had a different crew chief, so we've kind of been working with him just to get it together and you know, become a team, or what we do differently, and the lingo and all of that. You know, I finally think it's starting to jive. The entire field is so close. I know that you can be 100th of a second quicker, and you're, you know, 3-4 positions higher in qualifying. But we had one of our better qualifying, you know, showings, and we ran really well the first part of the race, and we got to change tires halfway, and I made a call to not do anything because it felt so good. I didn't want to change anything, and we kind of just let the track get away from us, and it got really tight, and we struggled. But overall, I think it was a really good weekend. We didn't have much scratches on the cars, which is good because we didn't have many days to fix it, and it was definitely one of our better weekends.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the Pensacola track, it's really a nice track and a nice area for a racetrack. The crowd was great during the autograph session. It looked like they were never going to be able to get all them people out of there. And what do you think about the track and the way it's banked and everything?
I remember running there last year, and it's one of my favorite tracks. It's awesome. It's very racy. There's 2 grooves into 1 and 2. You can't really run 2 grooves in 3 and 4, but it's just extremely racy. And it makes, there's a lot of room. There's, you're not always bouncing off cars, and it's one of my favorite tracks. I know that we ran really well there last year, and I looked forward to going there this year, and we rolled off the truck, and we were pretty competitive. So I feel like that's a successful weekend, but definitely one of my favorites, and I wouldn't be mad if we had a couple races there over in the K&N series schedule.
Now, after the rain came through, what was y'all's thinking as a team? Basically, did you feel like the track was going to change any, and were y'all worried about practice getting canceled and everything else?
Well, we didn't actually ever get onto the racetrack before it started raining, so we didn't really know anyways. We just knew that we had 45 minutes because we got cut down one practice. They kind of just got rid of it, and we still got to be able to stick to the normal schedule. So our biggest concern was just to be very thorough with our changes, and we realized we only had 45 minutes to get it right if it was wrong. But as a team, we just try to really stay calm and just do what was necessary and not get too far ahead of ourselves, and that's exactly what we did. And like I said, we got better all day, and the car was pretty much perfect in the first session. Like I said, we just missed it, and that was I'll take the blame for it because I told him not to touch anything. So that was my mistake, and I guess we should have seen how if that track got tighter. I didn't really remember from the previous year. But you live and you learn, and it was definitely a good weekend.
Well, looking forward to this weekend coming in. This is this is a totally different track than what you had last weekend, with it being so flat and such different track conditions and everything. What do you think? What's your thoughts coming into this weekend, and what have you done here previously at Langley?
Well, we definitely had a good car there last year. We ran top 5 all night until there was a crash in front of us, and we couldn't avoid it. But we had a really good car. We qualified top 5. We ran top 5. So I feel like my expectations are a little bit higher. Having Jefferson Hodges as our competition director, I feel like we have the ins and the outs. And I know Chris Lemons will be there, and he's made a million laps on that racetrack. Our spotter for the entire team, Phil Warren, Anthony Warren. We have a lot of Langley people on our side, so my expectations are definitely a little bit higher than going into other places. But I love that place. Like I said, Phil has done a really good job. It's just one of the nicest facilities I think we race at, and I actually raced the late model race there earlier this year and tried to get a little bit of seat time for K&N race, and we finished 6th, and I feel like that's pretty respectful at a place like that where it's really tough. Those guys race there every weekend, and CE and Mark Wirtz, and you really got the best of business there, and I think we should be pretty good, and I definitely hope we are anyway.
Well, you're talking about somebody that's put some laps around that track,
Phil
Phil Warren.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching him in the 80s when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and he was so smooth getting around
Now hold
that
on,
track.
I used to race against him too, but it wasn't in the 80s.
Well,
it was in the 90s.
But
So
he,
has Phil give you any advice at Langley?
Oh, absolutely. If anything we ever need, I definitely would love to pick Phil's brain, and anytime we ever have questions, he's always, very very easygoing. Rev Racing has a late model program as well, and the late models have gone up there, and I've tried to go up there and watch and just kind of learn and see what the track does, at night, and talk to Phil, and kind of just try to prepare ourselves the best that we can.
Yeah, I mean, Phil's probably the guy to go to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think he's only got 8 championships there.
7
Yeah,
or 7 or 8.
I
Yeah.
know it.
I think it's 8.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I feel very fortunate to be surrounded by people that we are
I'm sorry.
headed to Langley. I feel like that definitely makes your confidence a little better when you go to a place where everybody knows it like the back of their hand. So
Yeah.
I gotcha.
we'll have a really good weekend.
Well, we definitely look forward to you coming down with the K&N series. Look forward to a good race down here. But we want you to go ahead and give a shout out to all your sponsors before leaving. And again, good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it, and I just want to thank Max Siegel and Special Smile Pediatric Dentistry, Toyota. I wouldn't be able to race without all those people, and definitely the fans. The fans make you keep wanting to come out, and I look forward to seeing everybody there this weekend.
We'll see you there as well.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye bye.
Let's talk racing. Hello.
Kaz, you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Hey, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
We're doing good. This is Scott Allen and Brian Morehouse with Let's Talk Racing. We want to get your insight. This will be your first time coming down to Langley Speedway this year, won't it?
Yes, sir. I haven't been there in anything else other than I tested there about a week ago in a K&N car, but prior to that, I hadn't seen the track.
What's your thoughts and ideas about the track? It's sort of one of the flattest surfaces y'all probably have raced on so far this year.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's going to be a tricky race. Even in testing, actually, there were a couple people that had some incidents getting into the wall or spinning out. It is a very tricky track. With the front straightaway being completely curved, it keeps all the weight loaded on the right side of the car, so when you brake for turn 1, the car is very unstable. I'm not sure how that's going to work out with side-by-side racing in the race. I haven't seen any racing there yet, but I have a feeling it's going to make for an interesting race.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to y'all guys coming in. I think this will be the 4th year that K&N has been here.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's always been a great show and always had a great turnout.
Yeah, we're only like 10 minutes from the track, Kaz.
Oh, really?
And
They're coming out to watch the race?
oh yeah, I'll be out there. Brian, of course, he'll be out there. He's one of the officials, and we'll have several of us out there from the show.
Oh, well, that would be great.
So definitely get used to a humid weekend, and but it won't be no more humid than it was last weekend down there in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping. It couldn't really be much more humid than it was before.
That was just a weekend to get you in shape.
Yeah,
So
you
now
need
you're
it
ready.
here because it is definitely always humid out here. Since we're sitting right on the water, Langley Speedway is probably within 2 miles of water.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's
With
been
the
hot.
person. But give us a little bit of insight on your background before getting involved with K&N Racing. This is your first year with K&N, isn't it?
Yes, sir. This is my first year in K&N. I'm only 15 years old. This was the first year I was eligible to be in the K&N series. But prior to this, I started out in go-karts when I was 4 years old. I worked my way up to bandoleros when I was 10. I won a championship in bandoleros, so I moved up to wedging cars,
Okay.
where I then won another championship, so I moved on to late models for last year. And I ran just under a year in late models last year before going to K&N this year. And I still am running some late model races this year, but definitely focusing on the K&N stuff.
And for the rest of the season, you're running a full season with K&N?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So you've been doing pretty good so far, and I mean, only 15 years old, you got a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, we've been pretty fast at almost every event, but unfortunately the last, 3 or 4 races, we've had some horrible luck, so I'm really hoping that's going to turn around at Langley for us. I think we're going to show up with a good car again, so assuming that all of our luck lines up, I think we could be looking at a solid race there.
Definitely.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of skilled drivers that run that track locally to take and get some feedback from them as well to help you out.
Yeah, that'll definitely be important. And the rest of my teammates aren't rookies, so a lot of them have run Langley in the K&N car or in other cars, so that'll definitely be valuable for me to talk to them about the track.
Who are some of your teammates?
Well, Ben Rhodes, he's a rookie, but the others would be Scott Hecker, Brandon Jones, Cameron Haley, so those are definitely some good guys to ask for advice.
And y'all have got some crew chiefs that on that team that have definitely raced many laps around Langley with Mark McFarland, I believe Shane with y'all too?
So yeah, those are also great guys to talk to.
Definitely a lot of good insight.
A ton of experience in general. What's the big difference between coming from the late model going into the K&N? Is it just the different tracks you're going to every couple of weeks?
I think probably the biggest difference is the track. I would agree, but for sure they have a lot more power. You can feel that coming out of the corners. The weight difference, they are a little bit heavier than a late model, but honestly, it's pretty hard to feel that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the power and the fact that we go to bigger tracks. Not all of them are bigger, but most of them are bigger. Bowman Gray, of course, would be smaller. That's just a crazy race experience, but the rest of the tracks are very nice, very big tracks, so that was something to get used to for me. I'm still getting used to it.
Well, you know, we didn't really get to talk about that too much. K&N's been pretty busy since the start of really, you know, the last couple of weeks. Bowman Gray, what's your thoughts on Bowman Gray?
I think it's a great event. Gets a lot of people out there. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of energy, but I can't say that the racing is as good at Bowman Gray as it would be at a bigger track, just because it's very difficult to pass and it's very sort of luck-oriented because anybody can run into the back of you, Smith not as fast as you, whereas at a bigger track, it spreads out a little more, and if you're faster than somebody, you can just pass them cleanly. Bowman Gray was definitely a lot of fun to be in, and I'm sure the series will go there for years to come.
Well, what did you think? I mean, you seem to have traveled around to quite a few tracks with the history that you have with Bandoleros, Legends, and Late Miles. Had you ever been to a track like that had that many people there on a Saturday night?
No, definitely not. And even a bigger track where we get probably almost as many people as we do at Bowman Gray, just the fact that Bowman Gray is so small and they're so packed in there, it's a whole different vibe, a whole different energy. Really, the facilities at Bowman Gray are very, very, very nice as well.
Yeah.
The track is pretty smooth, even though it is, you know, really little and tight. So it is a very cool event, and it's cool to see all those people come out to watch.
7 years ago, when I got on with NASCAR, and that we decided to go out to Bowman Gray before we went there with the modifieds, and they told me I had to get there at 5 o'clock. And I was like, it's only short track racing. And next thing you know, man, people started coming in left and right, and I'm like, I'd never seen so many people on a Saturday night show. It's amazing. So if people have never been to Bowman Gray, it's definitely a track you want to check out and be able to see one Saturday night there.
For sure.
Well, what we want to do is we want to definitely get a little bit of insight on who your sponsors are, and you know, go ahead and feel free to talk about anything that you want to talk about this upcoming weekend.
Well, first of all, I got to thank my sponsor, Osland, and my parents for allowing me to do this crazy thing that I do. But for sure, Turner Scott Motorsports, they give me plenty of advice at the track, and they give me great equipment to show up with. So that's just a great opportunity for me to be in my first year in K&N.
And now, do you have? Well, you're only 15 at this point in time. So, I mean, do you look at yourself trying to return again next year with K&N and get more experience?
Yes, I definitely like to, because it will be another 2 seasons after this before I can actually run full time in any series above K&N. So I definitely hope to come back to K&N the next year or 2.
I gotcha.
Now, do you have like a long-term goal? I mean, obviously you want to get the Cup, but do you have like a plan in 2 years you want to do some truck races or so forth?
I mean, not really a particular plan, but as soon as I'm old enough to do a part-time truck series, of course I would love to do that if an opportunity arises for me to do that, obviously. But when I'm 18, I would hope to be in trucks or nationwide, something like that. I think most kids would. But then I'm not really I don't really have any specific plan for when I would love to be in Cup. Just any time would be great.
Well, definitely. We totally understand that. Yeah, well, I tell you what, we definitely appreciate you calling in, and we look forward to meeting you down here, and hopefully you'll have a great time and a great event.
Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend.
All righty. Thank you. You take care.
Thanks, guys.
You too. I appreciate it.
Thanks. You want to hit that?
Yeah.
You're the operator.
Let's talk racing.
Hey, this is Nick Drake. Just calling in for the show tonight.
You sure it's really Nick Drake and not somebody else that says they're Nick Drake?
No, I'm positive I'm Nick Drake.
I tell you what, Nick, this is Roger. I've always had curiosity. I'm getting off the subject here. So many people put fake names up on Facebook. How do you know when you contact some of these people that they're really who they are?
Sometimes I've seen quite a few people put up fake names before. And you know, one person friended me the other day that I went to school with. I didn't know him by that name, but you know, I knew him by their picture. She was nice looking. So,
Oh, okay. Anyway, back to you, Nick. Sorry about that, but it was just something that pops up in my head every once in a while. You know, when I reach out to get people on the show, I always wonder, is this really who they say they are?
Yeah, I'm K&N's Pro Series driver, Nick.
I didn't mean to get you all flustered now. Come on, Nick. Let's roll.
Well,
You've been here before.
you got Scott Allen, Roger Brehm, Brian Morehouse here, and what we want to talk about is this past weekend, your Pensacola race. What was your thoughts about the track, the area, and of course, you know, the race itself?
You got it breaking up real bad. I don't know if you understand me.
Wait, did you hear my question?
No, I just caught bits and pieces of it.
Okay. Well, we know that the K&N E Series raced out at Pensacola, Florida this weekend. We want to get your thoughts on the race and the area and what you think about coming to Langley Speedway. And I believe this will be your first time to Langley, won't it?
Yeah, I've never been to Langley before. Pensacola was, I showed up there for the first time that morning and everything went fine. It rained in the morning and we ran decent in practice and qualified fourth in the race. We blew a tire like lap 5 and then we cut 2 more down throughout the course of the race. So we don't really know what happened. It was just unlucky on Friday the 13th, I guess. The race wasn't the best for us, but I think we finished like 13th at the end. We just couldn't really do much with 3 flat tires.
Right.
And Langley, we tested good there the other week, so I'm looking forward to getting up there Saturday.
So coming to Langley and testing, that was your first time ever being on the track and seeing that track?
Yeah, that was the first time there.
Definitely a flat track, isn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty fun though. I enjoyed it. Hopefully we can put on a good show.
Yeah, y'all have been coming in town like we talked to our previous guest about the last 4 years, and it has always been a super show. And K&N East really puts a great show on for the fans. They pack the stands, and I tell you what, really great racing. And I think we've had quite a few different winners over the years. So
I think there's been a repeat winner. I don't
yeah. Looking over that today, I didn't see where it was, but now is your teammate coming with you to join you this weekend, Cole Custer?
No, he won't be there. He's actually racing in Sonoma in the West race.
Okay, so only one Napa car will be here, huh?
Yep.
I gotcha. So now give us a little insight about your crew chief, and tell us a little bit about your racing experience over the last couple of years.
Crew Chief Dave McCarty's, he's been really good this year. He's been really helpful. He's got a lot of experience with Brett Moffitt, and they've had a ton of success. So I think I'm in a good position with him, and then Matt Goslin too. Just helped out a ton this year, and then everyone at Bill Mackena Racing gives us a good car every week. But this season's gone fairly well. We've had our ups and downs, but we put together a string of top 5s, and then we just had bad luck, like at Pensacola, and then Bowman Gray, we got taken out on the last lap, in 3rd. Bristol, we blew a tire, just little things like that we couldn't escape from.
Right.
Sort of held us back a little bit, but we've ran good everywhere we went.
Now, Bill McNally, he's that's a big name out on the West Coast, and it looks like he's making the transition on over to the East Coast with these teams. I mean, a lot of people may not have heard of him around here, but out there, that's a big name.
Yeah, it's a huge name. They've had a ton of success in the West Series, and he wanted to move east this year and get some exposure out here, and I think we're doing a fairly well job for him out on the East Series. Cole really got him a win out here at Richmond, and I sat on the pole at Richmond, so that was good. We're all running up front every time we're out.
Well, out at Richmond, it seemed like y'all two were battling back and forth for a lead there for a little while, and then all of a sudden, Cole came out victorious. But y'all really had a good showing out there at Richmond.
Yeah, I think between our two cars, we led every single lap, so that was good. And I learned a lot that race for next time. Maybe it could be the other way around next time. That'd be nice.
I got you. Now, where does y'all shop at there in the Charlotte area?
It's in Concord actually at Ken Schrader Racing. Ken Schrader shop. We have like half the building there.
I got you.
So we'll run out of there.
I tell you what, probably not a better driver guy than Kenny Schrader.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we'll race anything, dirt, anything.
Driving maniac.
Yep. So now, tell us a little bit about your sponsors.
We got Napa Auto Parts, which has been huge. They help us out with the majority of it, and then and they've been connected to Bill throughout his past years in the West Series. And then Hog Automation with Gene has helped us back in my previous years with the sprint car and midget stuff. And they did Cole's East program last year. And then we got Toyota as a manufacturer sponsor. They've had connections with Bill. And then Wiley X came on board and hooked their crew up with some free sunglasses, and that's always good to have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guys here keep complaining because I know the guys at Wiley X, and I can't get. They keep giving me a hard time. They haven't gotten them glasses yet.
We're trying to get on the program.
Yeah.
So, now, you said a little bit about your background there. Where did you come from before coming to K&N East, and how's that helped you? Whether you did dirt, asphalt, give us a little bit of insight.
Yeah, the last few years I've been all on dirt and open wheel cars, sprint cars, and midgets, and I think it's helped a lot with the horsepower part of it. And I feel like guys coming from late models, they have to get used to the horsepower going into the K&N series, but I was already accustomed to it. It was just getting in a big full-size stock car on asphalt was the biggest transition for me, and it's a lot different than a sprint car, as you can imagine, but I've adapted to it pretty quickly, I feel like, and it's just some little things that I have to work out so we can start winning some races, I feel like, but it's been a lot of fun so far.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 18.
So you're 18. We just talked to Kaz, and
Kaz,
he was telling us, I didn't realize that he was only 15 years old.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When I was 15, I just wanted a go-kart. But I tell you what, it seems like what's your goals? Are you looking at trying to return back to K&N next year and gain a little bit more experience, or is there anything you can give us some insight on?
Yeah, hopefully if the opportunity comes about, I'd love to run the series again next year. It's been a lot of fun, and if everything goes right, hopefully get a few opportunities at some truck races here in the near future, and then just work my way up as far as I can. Hopefully end up racing on Sundays with those guys.
Now, what was the biggest challenge between the sprint cars and moving to the K&N to a big heavy car?
It's just the sprint car is real fast pace. Like you're on it all the time, and then the stock cars just they're heavy, they're slow. You can't do a whole lot with them, I feel like. But with the sprint cars, you just got to drive it as hard as you possibly can every lap, and then the stock cars they can only do so much. It's more the car has to be close if you're gonna have a shot at it, which is just where the guys behind us at the shop come into play, and they're doing a good job of that.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you look forward to coming back to Langley? I mean, I know you come up here and tested a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're running good, so hopefully that carries over and the track conditions don't change too much, and we'll have a good outing there too.
Mm-hmm. Now, who do you think's the guy going to be the one to beat besides yourself?
That 41 car, Ben Rhodes, he's been the car to beat every single week. So
He's on a roll.
Yeah, he is.
he's won the last 3 races, and if we're gonna have the shot at it, we're gonna have to beat him.
Now, you know, running K&N and your experience that you've had in the sprints, K&N probably is one of the biggest stepping stones for your career to be able to move up and on. What do you think about the tracks that y'all visited so far? I mean, you've hit places like Bristol, Richmond, Pensacola, Bowman Gray, and now, you know, a place like Langley.
Yeah, they've all been really fun. Getting to run on the tracks like Bristol and Richmond that the NASCAR guys go to has been really cool. And then the other tracks like Bowman Gray, that was an experience in itself. Just seeing how packed the place gets and how the racing works there. And it's been a lot of fun everywhere we went. They got a wide variety of tracks, and I think it brings out the best of the drivers.
Yeah, we were just talking to our last interview, and we were talking about, and I know for myself, I've never been to a place like Bowman Gray that's had that many people in there on a Saturday night.
That was pretty incredible seeing all those people there, especially how early they got there. It seemed to it was packed at 6 o'clock, I guess, and that longer than you can imagine waiting to get in the place, and then going up. I watched the modified race before.
Yeah, I heard that was really. I seen the end of that. That was really good, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Those are some fans that definitely live for Saturday night racing. You know, wish we had that all around the country. That would really be awesome. Well, I tell you what, we look forward to you coming in town. We look forward to seeing you and your team. We want to wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you'll want to keep on coming back to Langley Speedway. It's a great track with a great owner, Bill Mullis, and his staff. So I know you'll definitely enjoy your time being down here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on. Looking forward to it.
All righty. Thank you for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Who we got now?
Sergio.
Let's talk racing.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Sergio?
I'm doing good.
So how's the K&N style going so far this year?
Oh man, well, I can't complain. I'm in a car. We haven't had the best of results yet so far this year. So, it's been so.
Well, you know, we met you a while back, and you had started K&N, and then you went out to the West Coast, and now you're back here on the East Coast. What did you, when you went out there to the West Coast, what did you see the difference was between the East and the West?
Well, you know, of course, and the series is tough to win. You know, it's definitely super, super competitive. I would say the main thing that was the difference between the East and the West is, I would say the amount of cars that can win. The tracks are definitely different too. You have a lot more companion races of Cup out here East than you do back West. You know, on the West Series, there's about, you know, five or six or so cars that were competing for the win every week, and with the East deal, there's, I mean, it seems like 15 cars every week that are competing for the, you know, that can at least run up front and compete for the win. So I would say those are the main two differences there.
Now, when you go out to the West Coast, are the guys out there friendly enough to help you with a track like they are here on the East Coast, or is it about the same anywhere you go?
As far as what do you mean by that?
Like when you show up to a place you haven't been before, does those guys try to help you out there? I know sometimes when we ran late model back 100 years ago, that when you showed up to a new track that you weren't regular at, a lot of the guys, they didn't want to help
share
you.
their information with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're just as good. You know, that's the cool thing about this series, that there's everybody. It's, you know, it's a developmental series, so everybody's trying to learn, and everybody's always willing to help. Whether it was the East or the West. You know, I ran for Bill Mackena R out west, and Eric Holmes was a driver for him for a long time, and he was my teammate out there a couple times when I was running, and he helped me out a lot. You know, especially at Stockton, which is one of his better tracks. It was actually his home track, and he helped me out a lot there. We ended up running second, so I think a lot of his tips helped out there. And the same deal with the East Series. I mean, I talk to guys on different teams and get advice every single week, even from tracks that I've been to before. You know, you can always learn something.
Yeah, I mean, all the guys in the K&N are a bunch of young guys. And it seemed like, you know, used to, everybody was kind of going to the ARCA series, and it seems like now everybody goes to the K&N stuff.
I think that was the whole thing behind NASCAR and with the K&N is you definitely want to use that as a proving ground to be able to go on up to trucks and nationwide. But as we know, you are involved with Rev Racing and Drive for Diversity.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was selected as part of the group in 2010 was my first year. And I raced with them 2010, 2011. 2012, I was with Terri. Last year, I was with Mackena R out west, and then this year, I'm back with them. Super, super thankful for everybody in NASCAR and the Drive for Diversity program having me back out again. It doesn't happen too often when you leave a team and then end up coming back and racing for the same team again. But I'm super thankful for it. They gave me another chance at this, and that's awesome. Back in the 4-car, that's the same number I had when I was with the guys, so that was pretty cool. Same number I won my races with, so, I'm proud to be representing, the Drive for Diversity program that NASCAR has. It's such an awesome opportunity, and, right now, who knows if I'd be racing without it, so, huge thanks to NASCAR for that.
So then you have the Warrens out there, right, helping you? Phil and Anthony?
Yes, I do, yep. Anthony actually spots for me, so he does a good job up there on the tower watching out for me every week.
Well, he's got many laps around this track here, so he's a good one to be listening to. But his dad, Phil Warren, is probably one of the best drivers that have ever came out of Langley Speedway.
Yeah, I'm always really excited to go to Langley. The first time we went there, I ended up winning that race. And just because of that fact, we've got Anthony up there watching out for me. This is his home track, too. That's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, we want you to repeat that again this weekend, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll repeat it in Victory Lane.
Well, what's your thoughts this past weekend down there in Pensacola, Florida? We know that K&N East had a race down there, and how did you end up doing? And tell us a little bit about the race.
Yeah, Pensacola was kind of a strange weekend. We there's some rain coming, so we weren't sure if we were going to get the thing in or not. Saturday morning, we were getting everything ready, and it started pouring, so we got limited down to one practice. And the first session I went out, something was really weird. Something was wrong. Every time I would brake, the car would really pull hard to the right. Sitting in, we realized the hard line, the brake line, was pinched right there by the upper A-arm. So that limited our practice to about 10 laps, which is really a huge bummer because practice in this series is so key without having a bunch of stops to make adjustments. We were already limited to one practice because of the rain, so those 10 laps practice really killed us. But we ended up 10th overall, which is pretty surprising. I know a bunch of those guys went 10th there, so that was, definitely gave us some hope. The race we made it up to, I believe it was 6th. We had the halfway break at 75, so my plan was, I qualified 11th. My plan was to get to the front as fast as possible. I knew I was going to get tires at 75, so I wasn't really too concerned. I just wanted to get up front. We've been struggling this year about qualifying good and running up front, and I think more than half the battle in this series is getting a good starting spot and then just maintaining and keep taking care of your stuff. So got up to 6th there early, but in 20 show I burned my stuff up pretty bad and ended up falling back to I think around 10th or so by the halfway. And, we ended up finishing 8th. One of our better finishes this year, which is it's a shame when an 8th place finish is a good day for it's but we'll take it. We didn't have too much damage there. We're improving every week, which is a good thing. We started off season pretty slow, qualifying in the mid-20s, and I don't know what the deal is. We can't find any speed right now, and it's puzzling everybody. So. But we're definitely making some huge improvements. We got a couple top 10s now, so we're definitely going in the right direction.
Well, what did you think of the halfway break? It looks like y'all could take tires and fuel on and everything else. Were the tires starting to give away at that point? Or did you feel like once you got that first set of tires on, that was a great advantage to you?
Yeah, everybody took tires, so everyone kind of evened out. We had the opportunity to make an adjustment. We were really, really free. Extra center end off. So we made an adjustment, got things tightened up a little bit, which really, really helped. Trying to pass, everyone's racing so hard. That's the thing. Everyone's so competitive here, and everyone's driving them. All these rookies, it's awesome because it's really, really tough racing, but it's clean racing at the same time, which makes it super fun. So to pass pass anybody there was really difficult, especially with how free everybody was.
Right.
But once we tightened the thing up at the halfway break, we were able to make up some ground.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like, this is your 4th year within K&N between the East and the West, and it looks like you're gaining great experience. I mean, what's your hopes and everything continuing on? Do you see yourself back in the series again next year, hopefully, or do you see yourself continuing on with anything else?
Well, hopefully no. I would definitely take another K&N ride. It's a blessing to be in a car right now. It really is. The sport is so tough, and I'm so thankful for the opportunities I've been given these past 4 years. It's unbelievable. It's easy to get frustrated when you see all the kids that I started with the K&N Pro Series, like Bubba and Dylan Klesnetsky and Chase Elliott and all these kids, Blaney, all these kids just moving right up on Nationwide Cup and trucks. And as a driver, we're so competitive, and it's really, really easy to get frustrated when you see everybody advancing. But then, I take a minute and just think about how lucky I am that I get to do what I love, and there's so many people that would die to do what I'm doing right now, even at the K&N Pro Series level. So I'm really, really thankful for that. But as far as next year goes, I would love to move up. I think that I'm more than ready to take the next steps to start the Nationwide Series. Start getting some experience there. I'm working really hard on it. I've got some promising things in the works right now. I'm hoping to get into Nationwide Car or truck before the year's over. Working hard on that. We've got some things in the works. And hopefully it'd be full-time or close to full-time in the Nationwide Truck Series next year.
Oh, that's great.
Good for you.
Now, you mentioned how many people have came through this series with the K&N East and has just definitely moved on with the Chase Elliott's, the Bubba Wallaces, and all those. I mean, these are guys that you raced with and were teammates with. Yeah. So you're gaining great experience, and I mean, even going out to the West like you did, I think that's really awesome to be able to go out there and transition and get to be able to drive on some of those tracks that you would with the Nationwide or Truck Series.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this young generation of drivers that's coming up through right now is that, like you said, I've been teammates with them, I've raced with them, and myself and a lot of other drivers that are in the series have proved that we can run with them, we can beat them. So it's there, it's just not quite there. It's just that the toughest part of the sport right now is just trying to move up. And I know that I can do it, and I know that a lot of people believe in me. I've got a lot of followers following me, and that's so awesome. I think that's so cool. Just working hard, I'm working hard every day. I moved to Charlotte in February. Been working away, visiting teams, and just doing everything I can to take this next step. So hopefully it'll all pay off here soon.
I got you. Well, we look forward to you coming down to Langley Speedway. Can you just give us a real quick wrap up on your sponsors before we end? And we definitely look forward to seeing you down here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, I have to thank NASCAR and the Driver Diversity Program again for having me back. That's definitely the major one there. They supported me for so long, and I'm just so thankful for them. We have TRD Toyota on the car. We have Nike on the car. NASCAR Technical Institute do our motors. We have them on the car. And that's about it. We got a good group supporting us, and super thankful for all of them.
Oh man, I tell you what, we look forward to seeing you. Hopefully we'll see you again in Dale Lemon's Victory Lane here at Langley Speedway. And
you'll be the first
two-time
winner.
First speed runner. There you go.
There you go.
Sounds good. That sounds like a deal to me.
There you go. Well, good luck, man. We look forward to talking to you more in the season, and hopefully we'll be talking more about those rides that you may have coming up.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Bye, Sergio.
See ya.
Curtis Hughes.
Let's talk racing.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
So y'all got a race coming up this weekend, huh?
Yes, sir.
Kind of a big race?
Yes, sir. We're having the K&N cars come in. It's the Visit Hampton VA 175. It's going to be a really great event. It's been really fun to watch in the past with some great racing. We're really looking forward to this Saturday.
Well, Curtis, we know a little bit.
Yeah, we need to at least say who it is. Curtis Hughes from Langley Speedway.
But Curtis has got a little bit of background with Langley, going to school, of course. I mean, getting that education, but you've got some modified experience along with the Champ Carts. Did you do Champ Carts, Curtis?
I started out in junior champ karts. I dabbled in the Hampton Roads Kart Club for a good long while. I moved up to arena racing in the Coliseum in Hampton. Raced some super trucks out here at Langley Speedway, and we're now running modified every now and then when we can.
But now your new position is, now that you're continuing your education with college and everything, you're the new intern with public relations working under Chuck Hall.
Yes, sir.
I got you. How's Chuck doing?
He's doing pretty good.
Okay.
Enjoying himself, you know.
He's the only guy I know that can call you up and try to sell you aluminum side and you don't know who he is.
Right, exactly.
He's a jokester and a half. Well, tell us, you went ahead and started telling us a little bit about the K&N event. Continue on and let us know what Langley's going to be having going on this weekend, along with their full program besides the K&N East cars.
Well, thanks to the city of Hampton and everything, we're expecting close to 25 cars for Saturday's race. We only have one person who's won the race in the past, so we got a lot of new faces coming. It'll be some of their first times at the racetrack, so that'll be really fun to watch.
Well, in talking to some of our guys here tonight before your interview, seems like quite a few guys have come down in the last couple of weeks and has tested Langley. Some of them putting eyes on Langley Speedway for the first time, and they have nothing but good things to say about Langley, the track, and its staff.
Well, we really appreciate it. We try to do everything we can to make sure everybody that comes to Langley Speedway leaves even happier than they were when they showed up. We did have close to 8 cars testing the other Monday with Turner Scott and Rick Judovic's teams and Sam Hunt. But, they all seemed real fast, real consistent, and it was a really good day for all those guys.
Definitely.
Now, Sam, is he running one of the Godovic cars?
Pardon?
I said, is Sam going to run one of the Godovic cars?
No, actually, John Holloman from Bowman Gray is going to run the 46 car, and Brandon's going to run the 64.
Okay, yeah, that'll definitely be good. The kid from Bowman Gray, like you had mentioned, he raced for Godovic at Bowman.
Right.
Yep.
So they continued that deal again for Langley Speedway. I guess he had so much fun when they came up here and tested for that race. But he wanted to come back and try out his hand at Langley Speedway.
And as a lot of people already know, I mean, Brandon Godovic is a late model. Now, all of a sudden, I've heard he's jumped into a Legends car.
Doing Legends also.
Now he went into a modified car and won the other night.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of laps around that place, and this will be really good. And as you know, Brandon Godovic was a winner, I believe, out of Greenville Pickens down in South Carolina.
What, last year?
Last year, the year before. So I know he's really looking forward. I mean, Godovics have always put together good equipment. I know they'll be looking at for a win there at Langley Saturday night.
Well, with his experience, he's definitely got to be a fan favorite for everything that he's done. He has been really successful this year at Langley Speedway, finishing in the top 5 numerous times in the late models, and he has won that modified race. And he's even sitting second in legend points right now. So,
well, that's awesome.
Competitive in everything he's sat in this year.
Well, we know, like we've said many times tonight, K&N East is coming to Langley Speedway. But what else is on the card for the fans this coming Saturday night besides K&N?
Well, we're going to open up with our wing champ carts, which are always a crowd pleaser, with the 30 cart fields with drafting involved. Then we'll have the Pro 6 cars come out and run their race. The K&N Visit Hampton 175 will be our third event. And then we're going to have brand stocks in that night with some modified racing.
Oh, wow. Now, are you doing any modified racing this year, or are you just basically down there doing PR?
We're going to try to run 5 to 6 races this year. I'm kind of involved in a lot of different things this summer that are keeping me out of the seat, but I'm enjoying myself being at the racetrack all the time. It's kind of what I always wanted to do growing up. So.
I gotcha. So now, what kind of field is Langley looking at with their modified racing? How many cars have they been having over the last couple of races?
For the regular modifieds?
Yeah, the regular Langley modifieds.
I'd say we're going to have somewhere between 15 and 18 cars, hopefully.
And we were down here with the NASCAR Modified Southern Wheeling Modified Series in April, and the Grand Stocks put on one heck of a show. It is always a treat to be able to see those guys with guys like Rodney Boyd and all of them still racing, and going neck to neck every weekend.
That has to be one of my favorite divisions to watch every week. I mean, it's guys that put their heart and soul into every lap that they make out there here at Langley Speedway. They're willing to risk everything in order to get that checkered flag at the end of the night. So, it's some of the best pros that we have week in and week out.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like Langley Speedway's got a full card. It looks like it's going to be a great night, a great thing to take in on Saturday night. Plenty of young talent with the K&N East and all the other talent coming up through Langley, because as we've talked about tonight, Curtis, Langley has produced a lot of talent over the years. K&N has got, just not drivers, but, people in management like Jefferson Hodges, Phil Warren, who's now a spotter with Rev Racing, his son, Anthony Warren, who is another spotter for Sergio. Just a lot of talent coming out through the Langley ranks.
Oh, yeah, it makes us extremely happy to see all those people move on to bigger and better things. We don't always have a home here at Langley Speedway and all, but, it's great to see that we're able to produce the type of talent and everything that's needed in the higher levels of racing. So it speaks a lot for what we're doing here every Saturday.
Well, definitely, y'all put on a great program, and I know everybody's looking forward to coming in. Definitely appreciate you calling in, and we look forward to speaking with you more throughout the year and learning a little bit more what Langley's going to have to offer.
All right, well, thank you.
Take care. We look forward to seeing you Saturday night.
All right, yes, sir. Bye.
Ben Rhodes.
Is this 3-time?
This is 3 times.
Do people's fingers sizzle when they touch you?
Well, we're working on 4 right now.
Man, tell us about this K&N season you're having for 2014.
A rookie, man. This guy's on fire.
It's been a good season, My crew chief and I have not only good communication, we've been studying each other, building up a notebook, and that's what it takes, I guess, to have success on track, and I guess that shows the communication that we have and how key that is to have a good driver crew chief combo.
Hey, not only is he winning in the K&N, he won the mattress race.
Oh yeah, we
I
talked with
remember
you
that.
before on that one.
Yeah,
not too many guys now, Ben, can say they won the mattress race and have got 3 in a row going for 4.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your crew chief. We've spoke about him earlier. One heck of a guy, and it sounds like y'all two got great communication and great chemistry. So give us a little insight on your crew chief.
Well, Mark McFarland's my crew chief. He actually drove for Junior Motorsports in the Nationwide Series several years ago. So he was one of the first drivers for Junior Motorsports. So he got really good experience in the car. I can rely on him a lot for what I'm doing and ask him his opinion because he's a driver. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows the feel that I like, and so that's big. That's what really makes a difference is having somebody that understands.
I got you. Now, Mark's been around quite a bit with, many teams with Rev Racing and everything else. And last year, I think he was with CJ Faison. And it seems like y'all got him to come on in and crew chief over there at Turner Motorsports. And it looks like it's been a great fit so far. And not too many people can say they're going for four times.
Yeah, it's been a great fit. I didn't know who Mark was at the time. I was actually looking him up on the internet and trying to figure out who this guy was. I saw his picture with a fighter jet. And I was like, hey, this guy's pretty cool. He was sponsored by the Navy and he's all that in a bag of chips. And he's turned out to be, a great crew chief to have. One of the best I've ever had. He's like he's like a combination of the 2 crew chiefs that I've had before, best ones, and put it all together, and then here we are.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mark in a long time. I need to make sure I come out and say hi to him because I used to race against him back in the 90s when he was out here at Langley.
Oh, yeah, he was telling me about that and telling me about his first race at Langley when we were testing up there and who he was racing with. And I think he said he finished up in the top 5 or second in his first race up there. And it was funny hearing that. It was I think it was back before I was born.
Isn't that sad? I tell you what, only some kids popping up. I'm sitting here saying, they weren't even a gleam in Dad's eye yet when we were racing.
Now, did you have the opportunity to come down to Langley Speedway and test?
Yeah, he was there last year.
Yeah, I've been there last year in the Hampton Heat late model race.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I raced there in the late models, and I raced there in the NASCAR Nationals back in 2010 maybe.
Okay.
2010, 2011, somewhere in there. So I raced race cars there once. I've raced late models there once, and that's really helped me going into this race. And we had a great testing session there, and it translated into the nighttime, or I should say, transitioned into the nighttime at our test. And I think we got our car set up pretty good. I'm really happy with it, and I think coming back to the race, we'll be able to fine tune it in, and what we got is what we got. I feel really confident going into Langley.
Now, what was your goals coming into the season? Because I would imagine this has far exceeded. I mean,
What you
hell,
expected.
you got like a 50-point lead in the points. You won 4 races. You probably could have won 1 or 2 more.
Well, Dylan, I ran part-time Ernest Motorsports, so he's like my part-time teammate, and he got 5 wins last year. So I'm gunning for that. Going into the year, but we got to see what we can do now. I never would have thought we'd be where we're at now, especially halfway in the season. We've just had a really good year. Been fortunate. Kaz Motorsport has great equipment, great people, and that's what it takes to win championships.
Well,
I feel like if we can keep doing what we're doing and staying consistent, I think we'll be there.
Well, in talking about that, Turner Scott has really produced a lot of great equipment and, of course, drivers. I think y'all were all in the top 3. 3 out of the 4 of your drivers were in the top 3?
That's right. We were 1, 2, 3 at Pensacola, so pretty special night for Turner Scott. I know all the guys were really pumped up about that. We actually had victory lunch today. We had some Moe's catered in. I gotta tell you, that was good stuff. I ate 3 burritos.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you what, now do you get a chance to go down to the shop there in Mooresville, or, what do you normally do?
Since I got out of school, I'm here over the summer. I've been going every day.
Okay.
Working with the guys every day from 7 to 4. Learning as much as I can. I'm trying to improve my feedback and just overall understanding the car to get some more speed out of it.
I tell you what, I've had the opportunity to go down to Turner Scott, the K&N shop, and it's like mouses running all around, man. It's just one heck of a team atmosphere. All 4 teams are out of the shop, and it's just like people everywhere, and everybody knows their jobs and things are going on. So I imagine that's a great experience for you that you're able to get.
Oh yeah, teaching me how to work with your teammates and other crew chiefs and what it's like in a team environment. With 5 teams this year, it's
5.
It's pretty special. 5 altogether, 4 not including me. So it's pretty special. I'm getting to learn a lot, and hopefully I can apply it in my career and try to make the most of teammates as time goes.
Now, who have you leaned on mostly for information going to these racetracks that you probably haven't gone to before? Is that the crew chief? I mean, because he's got so much experience around here in a lot of the tracks.
Yeah, I rely on my crew chief a lot. He's a really good driver, and he has experience at quite a few tracks. Now, Bowling Gray and Pensacola, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, and we made out pretty good there. But Iowa, I've been there before, and Langley, I've been there once or twice, and he's been there a bunch, so he's really helped get me adapted back to Langley again, and got me into the groove of things. And I don't think he's raced on the tracks since it's been repaved, but I've been talking to some other drivers that have raced up there, like C.E. Falk and Mark Wirtz and different late model guys, and they've helped me out a lot too and get my line where it needs to be.
We've heard those names a lot tonight. I used to go to school with Mark back in high school, and I remember when he said he was going to go racing. I was like, no way. And, he's been a national champion in the late model series and everything. But one thing I've noticed with Mark is Mark takes the time with these touring series, as he did with some of the guys with the Wheeling Southern Modified Tour, going around telling them, how to take their lines and things like that, because these guys didn't get to come down and test. That really helps y'all guys out a lot with someone taking time out to be able to talk to y'all and give you some insight like that.
And absolutely. I mean, he sped up the learning process a little bit. I should say, he came at the later stages of the day. So he helped us get insight into what the race was going to do and how the track was changing. So he spoke the learning process in that aspect, and we're going to use some of the information he gave us, and see what the track's going to do just for the race.
I gotcha.
Hey, now I hear that you have a die cast already now made for you.
Yeah, it's a, 1/64 scale diecast, like a little matchbox car. Yeah, so, they're on our website. Go to benroads.com, and we got all kinds of different merchandise on there.
You gonna bring any with you to Langley?
And we have some in the hauler. We take them there, and we give them out to certain guys that will know or some of their fans, and certain guests that come to the races. One of our good friends, Bobby Gobble, who races Legend Cars, is coming to the race. He's in the military, in the Navy, and he took us on where he was stationed last year on an aircraft carrier, gave us a tour and stuff. There's definitely going to be a die cast waiting for him.
Yeah, I used to actually sponsor on one of Bobby's cars when he was racing Legends.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and we're fortunate to be a friend of his and know he's definitely a good guy. And looking forward to seeing him at the race. He made it interesting last year. Took us around where he was stationed at, and I've never been on a ship like that before, and that was a pretty cool experience.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Make sure you hang on to one for us too.
All right, I'll stash one somewhere.
We'll put it on display in the front of our table here when we got everybody's.
There we go.
Well, coming into this race this weekend, what's your thoughts? Any concerns or anything like that? Give us a little bit of insight.
No, really. I think we have a really good car going into this race. We had an awesome test session. We really got the car tuned in, and we actually have some other stuff mocked up that we're going to try and practice and see if we can help the car a little bit more. We're always trying to improve and make the car better. If you're not improving, you're going backwards. Everybody's always improving and getting better. So you got to be putting forth the work to keep the momentum going and staying consistent. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to make sure that we can try to keep the streak going. Langley, I feel good about it. Going into Pensacola, I was unsure. Never been there. 45 minutes of practice. I was really unsure about that. But we did pretty good there, and I feel good about Langley. We'll see what happens.
Now, your thoughts on Pensacola? Did you feel like that halfway break really helped y'all a lot? Did y'all get to make major changes and putting on the fresh tires and everything? Did you see that helping you, or were you going into the halfway break already leading?
Not really. I would have rather seen no tires. I would have liked to run the 150 laps just with the tires that we started on.
Mm-hmm.
Tire management's one of the things that I've kind of honed in as one of my skills in the past years in late models, and I really enjoy doing that. It makes the race interesting. It's like a high-speed chess match, and I like playing the strategy like that. It's a lot of fun. And when you have 75 laps and you get new tires, especially at that night race at Pensacola,
Mm-hmm.
it's right there on the edge of where the tires start getting bad, 20 laps towards the end, and it gets a little hairy. It makes you nervous. It's a big mental game like that. With 150 laps on the tires, it's less of a mental game than just about actually saving them. It made me nervous, that's for sure. I definitely had to work for it.
Now, at Langley, are y'all gonna be doing any pit stops or any halfway breaks or anything like that, or y'all gonna run the whole full race on one set of tires?
Full race on one set of tires.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Talking about things getting squirrely, I know they will be getting for you guys.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think y'all will end up coming down here really enjoying it, but 175 laps will be a good race.
Yeah.
Very good race.
When are you guys coming in town? You coming in tomorrow or Friday? Y'all practicing Thursday or Friday?
Okay.
We're coming in Friday. There's no on-track activity for the K&N cars on Friday, so coming in Friday night and getting settled in with the team, and then we're gonna go to war on Saturday.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, and this track being flat like it is, a lot of people have a hard time with it. But I think y'all guys, by looking at y'all with everything that y'all been putting together, I mean, y'all just sort of put everything out there, and y'all just run good together, and your chemistry's been so good, like you said, with your crew chief.
Yeah, that's really important.
I think some people underestimate how important chemistry with crew chief is, and I see this big aspect. That's one of the deciding factors in how the team operates and how well your performance is going to be on the track. So, that's been big this year. Our team, not just me and my crew chief, but our team as a whole is very, very good together. We all communicate extremely well, and we all complement each other.
I gotcha. Oh, we hope to see you in Dale Emmons Victory Lane, but before we go, we definitely want you to give a shout out to all your sponsors and everybody.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. But Alpha Energy Solutions is going to be sponsoring the car up there in Langley. They've been sponsoring me all year, and they've actually given me a chance to run 5 truck races this year. So that's pretty cool. And we have Kentucky National Guard on board with us. That's an interesting sponsor. I'm getting to do a lot with them up in Kentucky, as well as Alliance Comfort Systems and Park Community Federal Credit Union. So, and everybody go out to benrhodes.com and check out our Twitter and Facebook at benrhodes. And we have some live race updates if you can't make it out to the track.
Wow, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah, you said you got some truck events coming up, and what tracks are y'all looking at participating in?
Well, we've already run 2 races this year at Martinsville and Dover in the trucks with Turner Scott Motorsports. I'm running the 32 Alpha Energy Solutions Chevy. And we're going to go to Bristol, Phoenix, and Martinsville later this year. So kind of some interesting tracks.
Yeah.
Being only 17, I'm only allowed to run the mile and under tracks, but that's okay. I'm learning a lot while doing it.
I gotcha. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on, and we've had a great time talking with you, and we definitely look forward to meeting you this weekend down at Langley Speedway.
Yeah, we're not trying to keep you so long this time, since I know you got another thing to do at 8:10.
Well, thank you all so much. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
See you Saturday.
All right, see you then.
So it sounds like we got a good group of guys coming in, and girls,
Yep.
So I think it's going to really be a good race. 175 laps. That's going to be very interesting.
That's going to be...
Well, they've always done no change in the tires.
But for some reason, I was thinking it wasn't as many laps. It could have been.
I think
No, it was
it
175.
was 175? I thought it was 150 last
Yeah, because I thought Brendan Godovic was going to win it because he was running second. And we were sitting up there in the stand and thinking, we know he saved his tires because he's
He knows
ran
how to
here.
do it.
Right. Or maybe it might have been 150.
I think it was 150.
For
It might
some
have been
reason,
150. I don't remember. But we knew the tires, are huge. You've
Right.
been there for a long time. That 200 laps or 150 laps on Langley is tough on tires. Although it may not be as bad, being the track surface is new, or last several years it's been newer than it was back in the
Numerous
day.
years
Well,
ago.
Granted, I don't know what tire compound they're going to be using.
They're running good years. I know that.
I mean, when we were running late models and running a 100-lap race, at 50 laps they were starting to fall off.
Right.
For the first 50 laps, you could run into the corner and hardly tap the brakes if the car was set right. But that last 50 laps, that's when you started having to set the car going in. So, I don't know how. Of course, not having run on the new track, couldn't tell you how bad it's going to tear up the tires.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
with
just so
25
much
cars,
different, too.
25 cars, that's going to be a good field.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real good field. They had 21 cars this weekend out at Pensacola, and it was a good field. The track, was more banked and everything else, but I really think that with 25 cars, that's going to be a really good field, good race. And
I'm having the feeling some people are going to have some hurt feelings, though.
you think so?
Yeah, it's getting tight for Langley when you get up to that many cars.
Well, I think
They had a pretty good. I don't think there was a big thing last time. I mean, the biggest thing in Langley is you just can't charge the corners real hard.
Yeah.
You really got to back your corner. I mean, it's how.
They got to have patience and they got to work it.
Well, you got to
You
have
can't win
patience,
on the
but
first lap.
you got to. I honestly back off about 2 car lengths before you really want to get in the corner. And you
right.
just can't charge the corner at Langley.
Yeah, that's when Paige was running out there 2 weeks ago, and Mackena was there. I kept telling her, back off sooner, going to the corner. You'll turn to the corner. You'll be able to get on it sooner to get out of the corner. And you won't.
Mm-hmm.
But she wound up being someplace in the wrong place, wrong time.
That happens.
Yeah,
But so y'all be out there,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody with these wing carts always stop, and they got to watch y'all guys. So
Yeah,
that's
it's a
going to be
ton of
really
fun.
30 of y'all.
We had
generally?
25 the last race.
Okay.
You know, last year we had 30 to 35 carts every week.
Wow.
There's some guys that hadn't come back, and there's a few people that tore some carts up, so they're having to fix theirs. So I don't know. 3 of them got tore pretty good the last race. I don't know if they're going to have theirs fixed and be back yet or not. One of them's a brand new cart.
Really?
Yeah.
You
That's going to be interesting.
On
Then
your team, you got what, 4 people already on your team, don't
We
you?
got 5 carts.
5 carts then?
Yeah.
Let's
You
go.
got 5 drivers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shucks.
You want to try it?
Yeah, I don't mind trying it.
So, but it looks like a good night. I mean, you get the Grand Stocks. I didn't know they were on the
Yeah,
agenda.
that's afterwards. The Pro 6 is going to be pretty good because they had a big old fight over there last race.
I heard there was a little bit of confrontation.
Oh,
A little bit?
I missed on
Yeah.
that. Who happened on that?
Cody Carlton and I can't remember the other guy. One of his crew members come over and pushed Cody down on the ground. The 2 drivers went over and had some words and walked away, and then one of the crew members went over and shoved Cody to the ground, and then
Uh-oh.
And everything broke loose, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So, well, I tell you what, a lot going on. Hopefully, we'll have great humid weather.
Yeah,
and,
it'll be a good night.
if it was humid as it was today was
Tough.
I was inside like this place. Oh, that's
must be nice, right?
Yeah, it must
Yeah.
be.
So, but yeah, definitely look forward to seeing everybody out there. Definitely, Bill Moss and them always put on a great program. I know when the K&N East come in, they really turn the track over to the guys and really try to put on the best show that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good race. It's a good track. And, you know, I always like go over and get food afterwards. You know, you go to some places and the food you get is kind of junk. Their food is actually
It's
pretty really good.
But you know,
And the sweet tea's really good. I love the sweet tea.
Really?
I always get a jug.
You know, I bet Bill Mullis probably gives his guys, you know, whatever they probably need. We maybe need to go to work for Bill Mullis. Maybe he can get us some sunglasses. You think so?
Do what?
Yeah, see, he doesn't even pay attention to us. I bet Bill Mullis will give his guys sweet tea and everything else. We can't even get free sunglasses here.
Hey, you get free sodas out there. What more? Jeez. Look, you got shirts.
Got free shirts. Okay.
Hats.
So,
And I put in the order for the sunglasses.
okay. Well,
Okay.
maybe that's who he was texting. So,
They're going to be.
there you go. Well, I know I wasn't here last weekend, but I definitely wanted to discuss, you know, last week we had a passing of Jenny Dunleavy.
Yeah.
There was a big memorial service up in Richmond this weekend.
Yeah, at the racetrack.
And
Yeah, I didn't even hear about it. I would have loved to have been.
yeah, it was Sunday night, 7 o'clock. It was a great turnout from what I hear. This past Monday night, they actually had another service. Ricky Rudd, Lenny Pond, quite a few people within the NASCAR community got to come up. So that was really great. A lot of people may not realize the history of Jenny Dunleavy, but he gave so many people his start, their start. And we're talking about the Ricky Rudds, the Kenny Schraders, Lenny Ponds, and the Bill Dennises, and everybody else. He really went out and tried, you know, helping
just not
guys.
just drivers. I mean,
Just crew members
that come through his shop.
Exactly. And
Tommy Baldwin.
yeah. And then you had Jefferson Hodges. That's where he started off at.
Mm.
And you know, so giving a lot of people their opportunities within racing, but it's really weird. He was 90 years old when he passed away. His car number was number 90. And
I didn't even think about that.
his wife had passed away. Phyllis had passed away 4 years ago. And I remember he came down to my uncle's funeral. And Jenny Dunleavy is one of the guys that I consider a true gentleman. He just has nothing but nice things to say about everybody. And he sat down and people were like, "You're, you know, Jenny Dunleavy," and he's like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, really?" So the next thing he does, he goes to the car and he was entertaining the kids with signatures and everything else. So again, great family. Hate to lose somebody like that, but you know, we know he's with his wife now in heaven. So definitely hate to really see him gone from the sport.
And it's hard to believe how long the car hasn't ran.
Oh, I know. He hasn't been around since probably 2001, maybe somewhere up in
I
there.
can't remember. I think it was a little bit later than that.
Yeah.
We were talking about because
The one I remember the most.
run the car the last time at
Hermie Sadler?
yeah
Mm-hmm.
at Rockingham.
Okay.
Jack said last week.
Well, see, the
Can't remember what
funny thing about it is I remember the Truxmore years because that is where my family got their start with Jenny Dunleavy by being on the pit crew and everything else. But the prettiest one was the Holly Myers. I love that car for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
So, you know, but definitely a name that's been around for racing for years, and I really hate to see Jenny Dunleavy pass away. But I guess we'll wrap it up this week.
But you know who else had their first Sprint Cup start? That was Terri.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. That's right. Yeah, you're right. So, man, many names. If it's correct, I heard 60-some people.
It was
got their
a
starts.
huge list. I mean, I remember looking at it, and it was just went on and on and on. And I don't think 60 is even close to the number. I think it's over in the triple digits.
Wow.
You got to remember, he ran, 663 races or something like that? They ran with the car?
Wow. It's amazing. It's just truly amazing that somebody like that was around the sport as long as it is, because nowadays it seems like we got owners that come in for 2 or 3 years at a time, and they fade on off, or they've done what they accomplished, wanted to, or whatever. But
start a team, sell a team, buy a team, do it all over again.
So
where are we going this weekend? What's happening this weekend?
This weekend, K&N here, Langley Speedway,
and then the big boys.
And then the big boys are in Sonoma. So they're in California. The K&N West will be out there, and looks like that. Everybody loves going out to California. Would have loved to have been picked, but nice weather, nice area, nice sightseeing. But it's always a good race going out there.
Wines.
I'm not much of a wine drinker, but I've tried. What the heck. So, but yeah, everybody really loves going out there. I got some friends that are going out there and actually officiating their first race with Cup. So they're really looking forward to it. And of course, they were rubbing it in, all these things that they were going to do. It sounded more like a vacation than going to work. But
have you gone out there before when it comes?
I haven't been out there. I've been as far as Vegas. And
Hudson said this is his first time he's finally got to go to Sonoma.
Really?
So he's going to go out to Alcatraz, Golden Gate Bridge,
that's what I want to go do.
Stuff,
So maybe next year. But we'll see how it goes. I know it'll be a great race, and we'll see if anybody can stop Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson and Chad Canals have seemed like they've got that chemistry, as we've talked about all night tonight, chemistry between crew chiefs and drivers. Those two definitely
Just remember, it's starting to get hot toward this part of the season. When you get a lot of heat, you get smoke.
That's it. That's usually when he starts getting strong.
That's right.
So we'll see him coming on, hopefully. And to mention that, he was at Indy the other day testing. Blew a tire, had an incident. He's okay. No problems with that. But I think everybody's a little worried when they did see that. But everything's good to go.
I still don't think he's 100%.
Well, I know
He's not.
I broke my leg the same way, not the same way he did, but we had the same type. I broke mine in ice hockey, he broke his in racing, but it was like a Joe Theismann break. Mine was, and it was a spiral break, and it broke so many times with the fibia and tibia. And, got a rod put in my leg, 5 screws. I'm going to tell you what, for me, it took a good 9, 10, almost a year. And I had to take physical therapy really serious and everything, and it's a hard injury. So, yeah, I can imagine. Maybe he's done it.
How long has it been?
With him, it's almost a year in August, isn't it? Did he have the sprint car accident in August?
I thought I don't know when they had it, but I know that
it was before Richmond, because he was in Richmond on his little hot rod.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he had already had surgery.
So that was the second weekend of September. So, it was in August. So,
something like that.
Well, I know that they're supposed to be having some charity event out at Knoxville up in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the first 50 people that donated $300 or more, they were going to get to be a part of a go-kart race with him, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, and Kyle Larson.
Gotcha. There's another kid. I talk about him all the time, and I'm probably everybody's going to always say, well, he's your favorite. No, it's because he came through the K&N East, and he's not a kid that came up with tons of money or anything like that. He went out there with Drive for Diversity, and this kid is awesome. I think he's the real deal. I think Chase Elliott's going to be the real deal. And
I'd like to see Sergio Pena do the same thing.
Sergio is another one. I mean, I'm telling you, remember 4 years ago, was it 5 years ago, when he beat Logano in that race out there at Irwindale?
Yep.
I mean,
I remember watching that one. That was really good.
He gave him
what for?
Yes. And, you know, we looked at it and we were like, man, that kid's got something, and he does. Sergio's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to go far.
Some really good equipment.
He's very good with he's very good with people. His talking skills, everything else, as Al will always mention, because that's one thing that the reporters and fans look at. I think, you know, he's probably what you'd say a sponsor's dream come true.
Yeah.
Very well spoken for. So, yep. So we're looking forward to this weekend, full weekend of racing.
Another hot one.
Start drinking now, and I don't mean alcohol.
Yeah, no, that won't be
That'll
good.
just dehydrate you more. Oh, jeez. Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed our show tonight, because we definitely did. We had plenty of guests on the show. Ran them faster than normal. We would like to have gotten more of them, but 3 or 4 minutes apiece would not have done them justice. So.
No.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Terri O'Connell, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Here's your 2011 champion, David Brehm.
Hi, this is David Flens, driver of the 33 NASCAR Late Model, 2011 Old Dominion Speedway track champion. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driver of the 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.